Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I will be talking about my 2023 journals and what I'm journaling for 2024. I'm going to link last year's journal video from 2022 because I'm pretty sure I talk about my plans for 2023 in that video. And I'm going to link all of my journals down below where I got all of them. Everything will be linked down below, as well as a playlist for all of my journal related videos. So first I'm going to discuss my 2023 journals, and then I will get into my plans for 2024. So these were the 4 journals that I had. I had my reading journal right here, and then I had my TV and movie journal. Then I had my everyday journal and my life journal. So I started 2023 out pretty strong. I started journaling. I kind of kept up with everything. I was dedicated to another year of journaling. However, for my reading journal, after January, it kind of went downhill, and then my life journal went downhill around April, I think. And the only journals I was really keeping up with were my everyday journal and my TV and movie journal. So journaling was kind of a fail for me in 2023, which really sucked because there were so many things I wanted to document and so many things I wanted to write about in my journals, and I never did any of it. And I honestly regret it. So 2024, we are journaling. I'm getting back into it and I'm very excited. I guess I'll kind of go through each journal. I'm not doing a flip through for my journals this year because I really didn't do anything, so there's not much to show. So for my reading journal, like I said, I kind of stopped around end of January. So the last full spread I had was for By Virtue I Fall by Cora Riley. This was the last book that I fully wrote about the tropes, the summary, and the review, and then I attempted to do it for The Annihilator by Runix, but I stopped after the tropes. I just really wasn't into how detailed this journal was. It was too much work. It was too time consuming. I felt like I was constantly writing pages and pages and pages about a book when I really didn't need to. Then I kind of just started doing my monthly wrap-up pages, so that's kind of what I continued to do in this journal. It was easy for me to document how many books I read each month. Then I could keep track of the format I read it in, and then the genres and subgenres, and the star ratings, and all of that. So I was consistent with the wrap-ups. I continued to do that. And then I continued to do the overview spread of every book that I read. So I would continue this. I did this throughout the entire year, which I really like. I just think it's a beautiful visual presentation of, you know, what I read all year, and I love keeping track of the star ratings and just every book, and I think it's really pretty. And then we got to the end where I did do my reading wrap-up, so I included all my star ratings and just some stats. I had more stats here, and I haven't finished this journal yet for the year, so I'm planning on doing my favorite books of the year, and then I think I'll continue just to do the wrap-up pages in here, but I'll explain that in a minute. So that was what happened for my reading journal. That's kind of everything I did. Most of these journals, I have not done all my wrap-up pages yet because I'm actually going to do that today after I'm done filming. I know in retrospect I probably should have done that before filming this video, but this was like the only time that I really had to film, so I'm filming it now. But yeah, I just need to do my favorite books page in here, and then I will start for the new year. For my TV and movie journal, like I said, I did actually keep up with this journal. This is an easy journal for me to keep up with because I don't really have much to document. I just have to write the title of the movie, the director, where I watched it, the genres, the release date when I watched it, who it stars, and then my review. It's very basic, very straightforward. I also obviously include my star ratings and everything. It's just a very basic, easy journal. I just kind of write down how I felt about the movie, what I liked, what I didn't like, and that's it. I kept up with this journal. I didn't watch a lot of TV shows or movies in the year, so there's not a lot in here, but I am very happy that I did keep up with this journal, and I was very consistent with it, and I still have to include my favorite TV shows and movies of the year, but I did have my like little stats page, so that was kind of all done. But the only thing I didn't do was wrap-up pages. So I used to do bi-monthly wrap-up pages. I don't do that anymore. Because I'm not really watching a lot of TV shows or movies, I feel like the wrap-up pages are kind of unnecessary, but that was the only thing that changed about this journal. Everything else has stayed the same. My everyday journal is another journal I kept up with. This one, I basically document every single day of the year. So I write down what I did every single day, and I did that for the entire year. There were some days where I kind of forgot what I did, so it had been, you know, like a couple days. Like, for example, in March, I don't remember what I did the 4th, 5th, and 6th. And I color-coded every single month with specific colors. So like October was orange, September was this like deep purple, pink. And yeah, it was really fun to kind of document everything, and it's also really fun to look back on. Like beginning of June was a lot for me because I went to Edmonton with my friends, so I documented like what we did, where we ate, where we stayed, all of that kind of stuff, and that was really fun. I'm really happy I kept up with this journal. It was easy to write down everything I did in a day. And then my poor life journal. I did not keep up with this journal. Like I said, I stopped it around April. April was the last monthly spread that I had. So this was like the last intro page, I guess. And then I did include some May memories and favorites, which I am glad I did for this page. But that was it. I included some like random things, and that was it. I didn't do anything else in this journal, which I really wish I did, because there were so many things I wanted to document, and I am upset I didn't continue with it. I did keep track of my headaches, which I'm really happy about, and my time of the month. Those were things I was very consistent on including in this journal, even though I wasn't doing anything else with it. Like I said, I still have some wrap-up pages that I want to do and somewhat close out the year, even though I didn't use this journal. I think my main problem with it is I just got way too behind on it, and then it felt really hard for me to want to continue with it. So I just ended up not doing anything. So unfortunately, 2023 was just not a journaling year for me, which really sucked. But I'm very hopeful for 2024, which now we'll get into my journal plans for this year. So we'll start with my reading journal first. So the plan is to continue to use this journal for monthly wrap-up pages and possibly the year spread. So I'm planning on continuing to do like these type of pages: the month, how many books I read, how many physical books, how many ebooks, etc. The book, the author, the format, the genres and subgenres, and my star rating. That is what I'm going to continue doing in this journal. And then I'm going to also continue to do the yearly spread, just because I like how pretty it looks. It is very visually pleasing, and it is nice to just have an overview of what I read throughout the entire year. So I'm going to continue that in this journal as well. So that is it for this reading journal. However, I am going to incorporate another reading journal that I got from Amazon. So it is just this little basic paper little book, I guess. It is so flimsy, I feel like it will tear throughout the year, but I'm going to hopefully keep it together. This is something that I think is really going to work for me. So we have an intro page, then we have a couple pages that gives you an overview of what you're reading. So it gives you the number of book, so book number 1, the book title, date finished, and your star rating. There are places in here for 100 books, and then I guess if you do read over 100, you could probably list them all here. Then you get to your first review page. So the first page, obviously we have the number here, then we have the book title, the author, year published, date started, date finished, genre, book type, your star rating, book format, your review. Then you have memorable quotes and page number at the bottom, which I think I'm either going to change this bottom part to a summary or book tropes. And then obviously there are 100 places for reviews. So if I read 100 books, I will be able to include all of them in here, which would be lovely. But the reason why I went with this very simple journal is because it has exactly what I want. A small space for review. I think that was my trouble with my big reading journal, is I felt like I had to write so much because I had so much space. But in this journal, you have limited space, so you only can write your key elements that you want to include when you're thinking or like reviewing a book, right? When you think about a book, you want to write the key parts that stood out to you in the book that you want to make sure you have in your review. And like I said at the bottom, I'm either going to change this to make it into summary or tropes for the book. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how that goes, but I feel like having this much space for a review will make sure that I'm reviewing the book in a clear way, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have too much space, but I have enough to get my point across. And I think this is also really going to help me for wrap-ups, because I struggled to do my wrap-ups in 2023. I barely could remember like each book that I was reading, and also I was doing bi-monthly wrap-ups. So if it was March and I was talking about the first book I read in January, I barely remembered it. So this is going to help me keep on track, and it's just going to be very structured, very precise, and to the point, which I think is what I struggled with on my other journal because I had so much free space. I was just writing whatever. I'm very happy that I have this, and I'm excited to put down my first book. I think it's going to be great, and like I said, it's hopefully going to keep me on track more for wrap-ups. That is the plan for my reading journal in 2024. For my TV and movie journal, I'm going to continue to use the same one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to change anything about this journal because it worked for me in 2023, so I'm going to continue to do the same thing in 2024. Depending on how much I watch throughout the year, I might actually bring back the wrap-up pages, because I was looking at it and I was like, maybe I should do that. But everything else about this journal will stay the exact same. For my everyday journal, I'm going to continue to use the same one. I don't think it'll bring me into 2025 because I have this much left, so I will probably have to buy another journal once I get to this point. But I already started my 2024 spread here, so this is where I'll be starting for this year. And yeah, I'm excited to keep up with this. I just think it's really fun to document every day of your life. It's also just nice to look back on. And I have some journals like this from the summer when I was in high school. I'd write down like every TV show I binged, every book I read during the summer, and just what I did every summer, and it was so fun, and I love looking back at that journal. So I'm happy I'm doing it just for year-round every day. So we're going to continue with this in 2024. And finally, for my life journal, I'm going to continue to use the same one. I was a little hesitant at first because I was like, I don't really like to mix up years. I kind of like to have my journals separate by year, but because I barely use this journal, I should just embrace the fact that I barely used it and to just continue it, because I feel like if I continue it, I will use the entire thing in 2024, and it'll be less waste of paper, less waste of money, you know, all of that. So I'm going to continue it in this journal. Like I said, I haven't even started my end of year spreads or my beginning of the year spreads. That is what I'm working on today and tomorrow. By the time this video goes up, I will have caught up with everything, but I am not going to do monthly spreads. So like I said, each month I would do like an intro spread. So I'd have February, and then I would have things I was looking forward to, things that were happening, things that were going on, and then I would just kind of get into, you know, stuff that happened throughout the month, and then I would do like my favorites and my memories of the month, and then I would do like a wrap-up page. So I'm not going to do these monthly intro pages because it's just too time consuming, and I kind of was running out of ideas, and it just felt very repetitive. Journaling should be like a very natural, relaxing thing, and it didn't feel relaxing. It felt like I had so many pages to do at the end and beginning of every single month that it was kind of stressing me out. So I was like, we're not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do these intro pages for each month. I'm going to continue to do memories and favorites of every month. So I'm going to continue to do these type of pages just because it is really nice to keep track of what happened throughout the month. So like things that I bought, house decor, events that happened in my life, TV shows and movies that I watched, or books that I read, like my favorite books of the month, or new albums that came out. That kind of thing I do want to keep track of for every month, so I will continue to do monthly favorites and memories page, as well as a like wrap-up page where I just kind of discuss how the month was, what I did, kind of just go a little bit more into detail. So those 2 pages are going to stay. I'm just not going to do the intro pages. And then I'm just planning on journaling everything in between. So there will be a separation between months because I will be doing the wrap-up pages. I just want to document more things in my life, and hopefully I will keep up with this journal all year round. I am very determined to document my entire life in 2024. So that was it for my 2023 journals and my 2024 journal plans. I'm really, really hopeful that 2024 is going to be a better journal year for me, a better reading year, a better year physically and mentally and emotionally. And I just feel like 2024 is going to be a way better year, and I'm very, very, very excited about it. I'm really excited to get back into my hobbies and fall back in love with journaling. Let me know if you journal and if you had a good year journaling in 2023, and if you're planning on maybe starting for 2024, let me know what kind of journals you have. I forgot to say this earlier, but this is the last video that I'm uploading for probably 2 weeks or like a week and a half. I will hopefully have my Gabriel's Redemption video up before the end of the month, but this is the last video that you will see from me for about 2 weeks. I just kind of want to take a break, and it is a lot to upload and edit a bunch of videos within a couple of days of each other, so I am very excited to have a little bit of a break, film my Gabriel's Redemption video, read some other books, and I will be back with my Gabriel's Redemption video, and then we will probably get into February videos. Thank you so much for watching all of the videos that I put out in the last like week or 2 weeks. I really appreciate all of the support and all of the interaction. I'm so happy I was able to get out all of my end of year content, and I'm really excited about all of the videos I'm going to do in 2024. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.